Okay, I will try and whiz through it as quick as I can. So, hello everybody. Very nice to be here. And yeah, huge apologies for not being able to be there in person, but some things can't be helped. But I will crack straight on then, as time is of the essence. So, here at Beyond, we're all about experiences. So whether it's handling birds of prey or paddling down a river, having afternoon tea in a gorgeous setting, discovering the history of the car in the UK, all these are things people can experience, and it's never been such a driver of leisure spending as it is now. So I think that was sort of led initially by millennials, and we're all familiar with that, but it's now pretty key across the whole market. And the focus on experiences over things is now greater than ever. So it's vital that to capitalize on this, you give people a really good reason to book with you or to travel to the region in the first place. So it's a great time because this is coupled with the forced discovery of the UK, which COVID has kind of brought about to a certain extent. So never been a better time to really try and focus on this and get this right. And I think the experience-led economy and trying to think of ways to get people to book with you, but basically comes down to storytelling. It's good old-fashioned marketing, which is the storytelling. And it's what the consumer wants to experience. It's what the memories are made. We're selling memories. It's what makes up their next Instagram story. So let's take a quick example. And sorry, Haynes, I'm going to pick on you here, but it's all positive, I promise. Your massive car enthusiasts will probably need no coercion whatsoever to come to the museum. It's got cars, brilliant, I'm in. Okay, so that's fine, but we want way more people to come to visit than just the real car enthusiasts. So how do we appeal to those people? And of course, that's with stories. And taking just a very quick look on the website for Haynes earlier today, I saw several stories that caught my eye. There's the history of the car in the UK. There's comparisons between cars in the US and the UK. There's famous brands to explore. And of course, speed will always be of interest and have its own stories in that too. So lots of different things that grab my attention, lots of reasons for me to come, for me to want to find out more about those things. So lots of little different hooks that will appeal to different people to bring them in. To take a different, more generic example potentially is, let's say, paddleboarding. So yes, it's a nice enough thing to paddleboard, to get on the water, stand on a board and paddle around. That's great, but it can be done in many places. So what do we sell when we want people to book our paddleboarding tour or come to us in particular? And that's where we're selling the journey or the amazing scenery, or we're sort of selling emotionally. Is it a tranquil river that we're going on? Well, let's talk about that. Let's make them feel that. It's the delicious pub lunch in a pub on the banks halfway along, or maybe the history that we might go past along the way, the nature that we might see, even the people that we're sharing the journey with. There's lots of different stories about that experience that we can effectively get down and sell it on that basis. And the real beauty of selling it on the basis of stories like this is that they can be changed all the time. So part of the reason for doing all of this is to try not just to attract more people, but to attract more people for the whole year round. So it's about extending the season and going, oh, it's all well and good in the summer when, all being well, we're inundated, and that would be great. But how about the autumn? How about the winter? And people will commit if they have a good reason to. They will travel at certain times of year if they have a reason to. So it's about telling different stories at different times of year. So it could be a new exhibition, or it could be, in the case of the paddleboarding, it could just be talking up the autumn colours, or bigging up that really cosy fireside meal in the pub halfway along, so that the experience can be more about the challenge and reward, and making them feel that, that lovely cozy warm lunch that they're going to have and really get in from the cold, and then really enjoy that and feel that reward. So lots of different ways you can use stories to engage with people a bit more emotionally and get them to book. And these are great ways, as I say, to help extend that target market, to help extend the season. But so far, I've focused very much on just the micro level, just on individual businesses, what you can do as an individual business. So what I'd like to go is talk on how we can do that on a grander scale. And that's where sort of our partnership with Visit Somerset comes in. I'm not sure if I can do my best Chris Whitty. I don't know if you've got my slide showing or not, but if you do, I'm going to do my best Chris Whitty impression and say, next slide, please. But before I talk about all that interesting stuff that we're doing Visit Somerset and how we make this work on a larger scale, just speed through a very quick, boring bit about Beyond and what we actually do. So we provide booking software to experience providers and attractions. So really user-friendly, very versatile, very much built with this industry in mind, and compares really well with most other systems out there. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and I'd love to talk to you about that another time. But where it gets really interesting, though, and our biggest advantage, to be honest, is in our partnerships. And this is with people like Visit Somerset and people like John, who are really driving innovation there. And so we work with them to help, and hopefully you've all seen this, hopefully you've all seen the experiences sort of marketplace on the Visit Somerset website, and please do go and have a look at that if you haven't. But we work with them to showcase the best of what's around. So in this case, of course, Somerset. So we enable the direct booking of these experiences on the Visit Somerset site. You guys may all hopefully be of interest to know we're also working with GWR trains now as well. So that as a region, we can show off all these amazing stories and experiences, and collectively we give people hundreds of reasons to travel and to visit. And we work collaboratively together to really bring in more people over more of the season. So next slide again, please, if that's possible. So for marketplaces like this to flourish, we really do need your help. I'll echo what John was saying earlier. We do need your help. We need participation. But it's not just in terms of saying, yeah, I'll stick up my hand, yeah, I'll give it a go. Because the storytelling here on the marketplace, on Visit Somerset, is going to be more critical than ever. So customers have no context at all when they look at your experience on a marketplace. So some may have come to the marketplace originally to look for something else. They may not have even known what they were coming for. But it's vital that when they do see whatever it is that you're offering, whatever experience you have, whatever attraction you are, that you grab their attention from beginning to end and get that crucial booking. So we need loads of rich information. We need lots of pictures, and we need good ones at that as well, and plenty of availability so that people have loads of choice. So I've seen this a few times before. There's no point in having brilliant experience. Loads of effort has been put into the write-up, thinking about how it's going to be portrayed, lovely pictures. And then one date a month has been put in there for availability. So what are the chances that the person or the people who find that are going to be, happen to be around or happen to want to travel on that particular date? So it's about trying to make sure that there's availability there. Or if you're a provider offering multiple different experiences, but you can't all do them at the same time, we do have features that can help with this. So I would encourage you to put them all in, make sure there's loads of availability. And if you can't accept it, you can always at least try and reschedule it and lose rather than lose that booking. So we have a pending booking features where a card can be pre-authorized and you get a chance to either accept or decline that booking. So it's about then giving you choice, and you can get in touch and you can say reschedule that. And of course, that once they're here, they may look around to go, brilliant, well, I've made that experience booking. That's what I wanted to come down for. I'm now going to book some accommodation. I'm going to look what else I can do. So it's all about where it starts to work for everyone and why this collaboration is so important, because if we all work together, not only can we sort of look to see who we can partner with and how we can portray things, then it is about, bringing more people across the whole of the season and sort of effectively sharing those people around us all. So the aim of that project, to say, is to enable this collaboration between as many of you. And we can provide that great platform for potential customers to find and book things on. But also, I think it's about trying to think about what we're offering, how we're offering it, and in this sense, who else we might be able to work with to make the best experience possible. So for any accommodation providers in the room, maybe you want to look at the experience providers around you and think, okay, how can we start to sell our accommodation based on what guests are going to want to come and do? Or even if it's just the free things that happen around you, some of the great walks that you can promote, anything that gives people a better reason to travel and to come in the first place, or to come out of season. And that's then going to encourage them to think, great, well, what else can we do? I'm going to go and book with there. I'm going to go and visit Haynes, whatever it might be. So it's a collaborative approach that we can hinge on Visit Somerset really to engage people as much as we possibly can. We're also just trying to make it as an ethical platform as we possibly can. John mentioned this earlier, and in contrast really to the big OTAs who are charging really high levels of commission, with Beyond Can Visit Somerset, it is just 10% plus VAT and the Stripe payment processing fees. So it's around half what the OTAs are doing. And unlike them, we're not just trying to provide a nice bit of tech and leave it at that and tick the box and say, great, job done, that'll work for everyone. But it's to use our experience and our insights to genuinely try and add value, such as being here today and working closely with Visit Somerset always to keep exploring ways to help grow the sector as a whole. Listening to the AI chat earlier, I think that's fascinating. I'd love to find out a bit more about how that can extend into what the work that we're doing with Visit Somerset as well. And we're trying to do it in a sustainable way as possible, so that this collaborative sort of experience-led approach is key in doing that over in the coming years. I'd love to finish with a flourish, but I'm afraid it's going to be another boring bit, which is really just to get involved. If you'd like to be involved, I would love to have a chat with you. I would love to speak to you about how we can help, whether it's using Bianca as a booking system, and then that as a stepping stone to using the marketplace. Or if you don't want to use as a booking system, if you already have one and it works fine for you, that's great. You can still use this system. You can still use this just for distribution and use your Bianca account just to make sure that you're sort of being part of this collaboration and getting your experiences or attractions out through the marketplace with Visit Somerset and of course with GWR, as I mentioned earlier. And I'll be very happy to follow up with any of you individually. Hopefully my email address might be on a screen by now for you to be able to write down and get in touch with if it's not. But if it's not, then I'm sure John will be able to dish it out, or it'll be available through Visit Somerset somewhere. But thank you very much indeed. And if anyone's got any questions, I'd obviously very much welcome those now.